Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual personality, you. Today, I would like to speak about the joy and warmth and, frankly, just the good feelings of summer starting to roll in, and the sun and the etheric forces of the sun starting meeting the plant and seeds in the middle, and allowing these seeds to draw out their full power over time to truly come into their life, into their plant forms and shapes, where they are more or less just enjoying their own presence with their beauty. And as we all know, the plants are invaluable to us human beings, not only as a matter of survival, but imagine how dreary and sad this world would be without all the plants and the beautiful greeneries in summer and such. You just have that feeling of aliveness, despite it's having a kind of an opposite effect. As I mentioned, each summer and winter is opposite of each other, of what we truly believe is occurring. In winter, where everything outside in our sense-perceptible reality disappears, it's our inner being that becomes alive, awake. When the plants and life do start to take shape and form outside in our sense-perceptible reality, it becomes so much sensory reality to perceive, that we do become more asleep, more dreaming in our consciousness. Things go more automatically. That is why the summer go by so fast. We are enjoying ourselves in that dream realm, in a sense, that realm of enjoyment. And to then again become awake and aware in this summer weather, enjoying every moment, every second, minute, hour, day, week, month, years of summer and such, you start to become alive within that too. Really noticing the insects buzzing around, the bumblebees, and you just get a feeling of joy from that in general, unless of course one is utterly dead inside, but that is not for me to touch upon right now. It's about one's own inner ability to see these things and hence do something about it, or neglect to do something about it in the end. It's just objective reality here. But to be able to inwardly take responsibility of one's own inner being, how we feel and how we are willing or unwilling to become awake in the moments that truly is worthy of becoming awake of. Of course, one should always be aware and awake to a high degree, because that is where we learn, we take in, we remember, we build memories that we can reflect upon later, so that we can grow from our mistakes, learn from our successes. You name it. It's about reflecting and then coming to terms and understanding about what we do work with in general. And that for that to happen, we need to be awake, aware. If not, we are missing something. We are maybe not always taking in what should be taking in from moment to moment. And that is why we pay attention. The higher worlds always inspire us to some capacity and extent, but it is about becoming awake and awaiting orders, in a sense, awaiting inspiration, and not orders as in you have to. It's more like they prompt you to, invite you to. Invitation is far more lenient and gentle than order one too, and that is why they operate in full freedom. If it is not in freedom, if it is in necessity, if it is in conformity, it is not freedom anymore. Freedom comes from one's own inner ability to be oneself and hold to one's own values, chosen through both experience, study, and also coming to an understanding of reality, the world, and other human beings. How are you willing to come forth as a human being that wish to meet others and to interact, be dynamic with the world, with others, with you, me, you name it? For it is choices constantly underlying here, the intentions, what are we willing to do and what do you want? Those values have to be evaluated for oneself. And if you can keep it to humanity, to the love and compassion and joy for humanity, despite all of the darkness and pain and suffering, you are starting to become something that make amends and try to, well, clear up in all of these knots that have come into this by starting with oneself. Because you can then utilize your own inner being to bring out healing forces that can both inspire and be examples for others. But one also has to have a certain fortitude here, courage. One cannot be meek and afraid in this. Of course, fear always is there underlyingly, but it is about having the love far outweighing the fear. And hence you are operating within this setting no matter what. You overcome it by transforming it to something far more nurturing and healing, so that our health starts to shine forth just in your facial expressions, just in your, well, body language, in you name it truly. And once you have seen the result, experienced the result, and come to an understanding about the result, then it is like getting proof to getting results from an experiment. You find out for yourself through trials and error. That is what a scientist do. And one needs to have that state of being to be able to truly find out what do you long for in life, what is your purpose. And that purpose is manifold and variable based on it from individual to individual. One has to find out for oneself. We are not generalized, we cannot be generalized. For we are, yes, a whole humanity with different set cultures and different set rules to a certain extent. But we are also individuals. And to be individuals working within the whole frame is important, for only through the individual and individualizing the objective to become, to a certain extent, objective in the subjective. Difficult to explain it, but you are starting to be a humanity within an individuality. Because one cannot just become an abstract willy-nilly. One has to focus down to us as individuals. It speaks for itself, truly. And that is the joy and the, well, manifold explorations of what we can find out. It's to truly reflect, think about it, stimulating and keeping our thoughts, our picture imaging emotion, our, well, meticulous and also problem-solving natures and such, and not only using our thoughts, feelings and will as purely utilitarian, but shaping it to become sense-perceptible, sense organs that senses different realities, different aspects of reality, be it if it is from the monad or to the spirit or to reality or to idealism or to rationalism or to mathematics, the senses. There are so many varieties, 12, to see through as lenses. And then you have 7 different soul moods that can combine with the cosmic thoughts again. And then we're starting to truly come to an understanding about specifically what we can see the world from. And yeah, I think I will leave you with that today. I found it very fun to play around a little bit with the language and the picture imaging a little, just as to inspire you, if you are willing to be inspired, of course. As we say, we live and work through freedom. And I pray to Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of old, ancestors from every incarnation, and the higher hierarchy, to protect, guide, bless and love you on your path and development in this whole world that we are striving to make a more beautiful, truthful and loving place. Unless, of course, we have different intentions, but I guess that's something we have to grapple with ourselves, don't we? And yeah, may you be safe and sound. And thank you so much for listening to me. See you. Goodbye.